Good morning, afternoon, or evening to all who have come to this channel, the official Sacred Sensuality. I thank you so much for your time in viewing my channel. I want to dive right into your messages as usual. So let's see. Okay, so there's someone that is around you that is really trying their best not to want you at this time. It's you are giving them a multitude of emotions that they don't really know how to deal with right now. I feel that for you, you came out in this Queen of Cups, this Queen of Wands energy, right? Your warmth and your compassion, your loving nature. At some point, it looks as if I'm so sick of reading this energy. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. That's due to the fact that it appears that a lot of people are stuck. But it looks as if whatever actions this person took against you and the connection, something was unacceptable. It became too much for you. And you took the opportunity to take your freedom back. You, during that time of taking your freedom back, you could have run into additional freedoms. Although you want something stable, doesn't matter with this person or just with someone else starting over in the future, I feel like you're just a little bit tired of having to defend yourself, having to always protect yourself, having to always be the one to take the brunt of the hurt. And that's because, the Queen of Cups, that energy, she's very sweet, very loving, intuitive, just that Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. They could be very sweet. Of course, every sign has their dark side, but ultimately, the Queen of Cups is one of the queens that's very hard to be replaced. And that is because she's so nurturing, she's so sweet. And you could feel like, hey, I'm tired of being the sweet one. Like, I'm hearing like there's no reward in being a good woman or even a good man. Like, every time I get into these connections and these relationships, even though you may not see it at that time, that maybe the only thing that you are seeing is this person's potential. Ultimately, that's all that they're displaying. But I feel like for you, you just want something just, stable and long term with a Hierophant card here. You want somebody that's going to be there in your corner, giving you that same energy. The Queen of Cups, that energy, she doesn't like brutes. She doesn't like people who have a hard time expressing their emotions. And if she typically comes across those people, she does have a sweet nature about her that can bring that out of them. But, it's like no matter how many times you start over and over and over again, you keep running into the same type of energy, a different face. This person could have called your bluff or tried to call your bluff plenty of times by like challenging you not to leave, or having you swung on a string. Like, 1 minute they're in, and as soon as they feel that you're out, they're rushing back in to try to hurry up and come grab you. And you're just like, no, I can't keep doing this, because ultimately this person looks like they could be a runner. This could be a person that, like, runners have a tendency, yeah, they run from connections, but once they're done running, it's like when they're sitting down, it's like running from one end of the block to the other, right? You run from one end of the block, you get to the end of the block, and it's all like, what did I do that for, right? What was the purpose of this run? And they have a tendency to have that in and out nature. Something else I've been seeing a lot, in particular in my personal readings that I'm getting. And a lot of people have been confirming this, that they've been in that runner chaser energy. I don't feel that you necessarily like really chased this person. It's more like you could have been so sweet and understanding that you could have just given them their space. And they took that as like, okay, well, maybe he or she will always be there. So I'm free to come and go as I please. Um, but ultimately, that bluff was really them just, when you noticed that, you're pulling my leg each and every time you come in and out, and this is you playing with me, and I'm seeing you for who you are. This could have made you very emotional. Some of you could have cried about this situation. And you just felt like, I just want it simple. I want a simple relationship. It doesn't have to be this way. It doesn't have to be so hard. Like, why do you make it so hard? Why do you keep running from me when I'm the one in your corner emotionally? Um, and you could be feeling like maybe sorry for yourself at times, having that up and down emotional energy. People who have that Queen of Cups type of energy, you can. And as a person with a Scorpio moon, I know sometimes I do, and I know others who are like this as well, with the feeling sorry for yourself, like, why am I continuously running into this particular type of energy when all I want is just something sweet and simple? Um, this person, although they are attracted to you and they're attracted to your energy and they think it's very beautiful, they know what you deserve. Don't let them fool you. They know what you deserve. They know that they are not only capable of giving it to you, that at that time they chose not to. It's just as simple as that. I'm a very, you will or you won't type of person. It doesn't take long for a person, I don't care if you're a man or a woman, to decide if you want to be with someone. And I feel that this person, yeah, they may like you and want to and love you, want to be with you and all of that, but ultimately you may think about this person from time to time, whether you're in contact with them or not, and it just makes you cry. Like, the whole situation is just like, it just didn't have to, like, I'm hearing like it didn't have to be this way. Like, why did it have to be so damn hard? you know this person is sorry for how much they have hurt you. They have been quietly reaping what they're sowing, and I feel like it's happening internally for many of them. Give me 1 second, let me spread some of these cards out so I can have some room. And we're gonna put this one here. But this is a person who, although you could have, at some point been like, I don't know if I could trust my own judgment with this person or with people. But I really don't. You could be in a point of like at a crossroads with yourself and questioning even your own decisions that you have made with this person. This person is a freak in the bedroom. They're a freak in the bedroom. This is a person who was probably very sexually satisfying to you and sexually satisfying to them as well. But I'm also seeing here that they lacked the emotional, let me get it correct. And I'll be saying this a lot throughout all of my videos to whoever watch it. I'm Mercury ruled. I'm a Virgo sun. Okay. So Mercury is in retrograde, so he messes with my thoughts, my words, me just getting everything out. I know so many words. So if you hear a couple of mistakes, I do apologize. Just know that it's Mercury retrograding with me, tap dancing on my my thoughts, my communication, so to speak. Well, This is a person, they've never met anyone like you. You exhibit courage. You represent new beginnings. You represent a person who likes action. You want to move forward in life. And this is not something that this person is used to. And although they know this now and may have even learned it a little bit too late, they find themselves wanting you back, wanting to be back with you. The intimacy sexually could have been bonding for you guys, and maybe some of you could have taken that bonding as a form of, emotional intimacy for some people. And that can happen because, it does cloud your judgment from time to time, especially when you're young. But this is a person who also has clouded judgment. This is a person, like, their judgment is like very distorted, very, very not balanced. I feel that for you, you could have just been under like an emotional illusion, simply because of the fact that you're just sweet and loving and kind, you know? And sometimes when you have that type of energy, not to say that you're naive or anything like that, but when you give that, it's common sense. Let's keep it real. It's common sense to want that back from someone else. But unfortunately, people don't know how to adult in an emotional type of way, not just mental, not just internal, but like an emotional. They don't know how to emote. And this is something that could have been lacking in your connection with this person. I do apologize if you guys hear fireworks. It's nonstop, like starting in April up until October, actually. But this person knows that they weren't real with you in oh so many words. Like, this could have been a person who even had trouble with like letting you in and letting you like in a way like, I don't want you to know anything about me, so I'm going to give it to you like a little bit at a time. Like, even with their childhood, this could have been a person that was like very guarded. And so now they come across you as a person like who's safe for them to emotionally open up to, but they just really didn't know how to let that rawness out of them and to get it out. But I see that the fact that they've been wanting you and they know that this is something you want and something you deserve and something you require in a person is to be able to share that type of emotional intimacy. You're making them ascend. You're making them ascend in a way like you've brought to their attention, whether you have outright said it or not, or your actions have shown it, or you've just given them space and time to reflect on their actions towards you through your departure or your silence or whatever. Um, this is something that they're willing to work on. And it's ultimately because they want to be back in your, it's more than access. It's they want to be back in your embrace. They want to feel that loving energy all over again. They want the friendship part back because, emotional intimacy between two people is something, that you want a friend in your person, and they want that back. They want to be reunited back with you. They want to deliver an apology. I'm sorry here twice. And one of them is through the Page of Cups. This is a person that dreams about you all the time. Like, you're on their mind all the time in an emotional type of way. They're trying to figure out a way to come to you, to talk to you, to tell you everything. Like, I have the Ace of Swords here. It's like they've been given clarity. They ultimately, especially with the Knight of Wands clarifying it here, they want a victory with you, but they may rush in, and I feel that they may rush in because they may feel like you may be with someone else, you may go to someone else, you're just that special in their eyes, if that makes sense. It's like, let me do right, let me gather myself the way I'm supposed to be, let me do right by him or her, and let me rush in before. It's almost as given like I can't really let you go to someone else. So they may come in soon, you know, like very impulsive, and it's something that you can see, coming in impulsive with their charm and their handsomeness. But I don't feel like many of you will be easily won over, and I feel that that is because you have given them no choice in oh so many words to focus on your own life, and that is because they've given you the impression that that is what they wanted to do. Like, I'm here, I'm giving you action, I'm showing you that I'm here in your corner and I want to start new with you and I want to be with you and everything, but I can't really, you won't allow me to do that. Now, what's interesting here is that I did pull the Jupiter card. I am so sick of fireworks, you guys have no idea. I did pull the Jupiter card. I'm so sorry. There's my speech right there. There is the Jupiter card, but let me see here. Let me make some more room. I also pulled, I believe it was the Venus card. Now, I could get a mixture of people who are currently watching this reading right now. And if you know a little bit about astrology, Jupiter represents the husband. So if you don't know who Jupiter is, I definitely recommend you go and look into your birth chart. I did leave a link a little while ago, talking about a astrologer. Her name is on here. She's on YouTube. Lunatic Astrology. I love her so much. She's such a great astrologer. But Venus is the wife. So for those of you who feel compelled to look into your birth chart, if you're a female, your Jupiter sign represents your husband. That doesn't necessarily mean that that zodiac sign that is there will be your husband. It just means that that person may have those type of energies. And the same with the men. The Venus sign represents your wife. Lilith for men, your Lilith sign as a woman, that represents the type of men who typically attract to you. So you can look into that first, especially for the feminists. I'm sorry, I can't exactly recall what the Lilith is for the man. I think the Lilith is for the man, the woman that he is most attracted to. I'm not exactly sure, but it typically represents, and I hate when they say this, like the darker energies of yourself. So, for example, my Jupiter is in Scorpio. I am not really an advocate of marriage for myself. That's because I've been through it twice, been there, done it. It's not really my thing, you know, but I'm not exactly closed off to it, right? So let's say that I meet my spouse. He is more than likely going to have those scorpionic traits. And I have a lot of Scorpio in my chart. For me as a Scorpio moon, I'm very emotional. I don't do surface level anything in my life. It has to have a meaning. I look for the deeper meaning of things in life. So for me, as an example, I need a person who is not afraid to go to the depths with me. I need a person who, just like this Queen of Cups, you're not afraid of expressing yourself. I will admit, I do require a healthy amount of obsession in a way that is not obsessed with me to a creepy degree, but you know, your obsession is I'm protective of you. I care about you. I'm not helicoptering you, but I care about you. Your well-being matters to me. That includes your mental, physical, social, emotional, your spiritual well-being. You know what I mean? So for me, my spouse or my partner has to have those traits if they are not afraid to go deep with me. And if you are, you're just not my type of guy, you know? So I feel that for many of you, with the Jupiter being here and is speaking of courage and beginnings and actions, don't forget that Jupiter is a benefic planet. And so is Venus. That means they give off good energy, good karma, as long as you're giving off that good energy and that good karma, right? Jupiter gives, Venus receives. It's as simple as that. Jupiter gives, Venus receives. So I feel that with this here, going further into your reading, your person, they could be in the state of mind right now to where they feel like they have to really do some deep, oh my goodness, there I go again, deep self-reflection. So if you felt at some point that maybe like, I feel bad for leaving this person behind, or not talking, is something that they needed, and not as punishment. It's just something that they needed, and possibly something that you needed too, for your emotional and for your especially for your emotional well-being. Allow them to reflect on themselves, especially if you've told them certain traits that they have that just wasn't meshing well with you. This person plans to come in and it's like, I want to tell you so much. I want to start with an apology. I feel like this person's going to be apologetic because I have apology energy here like 3 times. I feel like this person is going to be apologizing a lot. Like they're going to be apologizing so much for like everything. Like, I'm so sorry, please forgive me. And they just want to come back. They just want to return. It's like no matter what they do, you're in their energy, you're in their emotional energy. You left an imprint on them that's got them in this. I have the snack card, and on the snack card is cute. It says obsession, physical attraction, sex appeal. I don't necessarily take that as all of that as one, although bits and pieces of that is throughout this reading. I'm taking that as the physical attraction is one thing, because I do have you here also as the Queen of Wands energy. You exhibiting both the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups energy, being passionate, attractive, confident, plus you're compassionate, you're loving, you're nurturing, you're charismatic, you're all of these good things, very determined, very intuitive, because both of those cards are very intuitive. It's like it's given like you may know things about this person that they've never said to anybody before. And that could scare them a bit. It's giving, once again, I'm not used to having this type of loving energy around me. It's something that I've never really encountered. And if I did, I brushed it off, but I feel like you made them pay attention. The loss of you has them in this grief type of energy. Um, and I feel that honestly, even though it doesn't really say that here, there could be a little bit of not just infatuation, but they fell in love with you a little bit. I'm feeling that very strongly. I feel like this person, the fact that they've decided to take it upon themselves to learn emotional intimacy and how to apply certain techniques to their life, and how they can, give it back to you and be vulnerable um, through that self-reflection that they had to do. They're willing to leave behind things that did not serve this connection, wanting you and wanting to be back in your energy, and receiving that sweet loving energy is bothering them. Like it's almost given like I have to have it. It's so good. Like this was a good person to me, and not in a selfish way, but like I realize, oh God, these damn fireworks. I hope you guys don't hear this, but But there it goes. But you've made this person want to grow up. You made them want to be different. And they don't want to be, because you're so sweet and loving and kind, they don't want to be the reason. They don't want to be the one to make you cry. You've been so tender and so sweet to them. It's like, how can I hurt you? And so now I'm willing to leave behind the foolishness. I'm willing to step up. They may come through a little immature. And I feel that for some of you, you no longer have faith in this person. You don't see a future with them. For you, you may have just, the Queen of Cups, she's a little bit more forgiving. But the Queen of Wands, she's more like, show me, and you got one time. That's it. And then I can move on because I'm too sexy for all of this. So there's a toss up with some of you. Some of you may decide that I'm just going to walk away from this. This isn't good for me anymore. It doesn't take me too long to learn my lessons. And that's understandable for some. However, for you, so those of you that want to get back with this person, I feel that because there is a conversation that's needed, even if that is a conversation of letting go, some of you may need just to have that conversation to say that you did mean something to this person, and they will be expressing that to you. It's going to put you in a place of conflict. And I feel that it may hurt their ego just a little bit. It could create a little bit of tension between you two. And I do see that it could be a good outcome as a result of this. What is needed definitely is a talk about not just the apologies, but the talks about change. What's going to change? And I need to see progress. Like now, I need to see you make progress consistently, and I need to see you make it now. And I'm not going to be sitting here waiting all day for you to make, progress. You can miss me with that, is what I'm feeling. But that is ultimately what I am seeing for you guys right here. But this person cannot help but to want you. Just, you're in their energy. You've influenced them so much that you've made them ascend or start to ascend. Even if you don't know about it, like on the emotional level, they're ready to mature. So that is your reading, you guys. I do apologize if you guys heard all of the noise in the background, but if this has resonated with you, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and all of that good stuff that YouTubers ask you to do. I would appreciate you so much. And if not, I do hope to see you back here again soon. Have yourself a good rest of the day, night, or evening. Goodbye.